All right, guys, today we're going to learn how to complete the square. It's just another method for solving quadratic equations. So what we'll do first is we'll complete the square, and then we're going to solve it by radicals or square roots. So go ahead and get your paper out or whatever you're writing on. So our first example is going to be x squared plus 4x minus 12 equals 0. All right, now the first step into completing the square is to get the constant on the right. Okay, so this guy right here is the constant. Remember, the constant is the guy without the variable. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him over. And if he's negative over here, what's he going to be over here? Positive. Okay, so that's the first step. Second step is to put your blanks in. You want a blank behind the 4x, and you want a blank behind the 12. So you're always going to add these two blanks, one right here after the x, and one on the other side, because whatever you do to one side, you're going to do to the other. Now, this is how we get what goes in the blank. You see this number right here? We do this number divided by 2 squared. And we do it every time, whatever's in that middle space. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. What's 2 squared? 4. That's what gets filled in. Okay? That's why this is always a plus. This is always a plus, because when we square things, we're always going to get the positive number. Now, this left side are perfect squares. So what you do is you just straight up draw your parentheses with your little square. X squared, x is his perfect square. What's 4's perfect square? 2. And then whatever is this first sign right here goes in the parenthesis. Okay, so let's do it right. Let's do it again. Okay, we get this number in the blank by doing whatever is here divided by 2 and squared. That's how I got the 4. Then this side over here is perfect square. So I can factor it pretty easily because x squared's perfect square is x and 4's perfect square is 2. And then I just add this side. 12 plus 4 is 16. Now this should look like a problem that I just showed you in the previous lesson about solving the equation by square roots. So what is 2's opposite? Yes, the square root. So remember, the little 2 and the square root go away and you have x plus 2. Remember, any time that you square root, you get the plus and the minus. Square root of 16 is 4. Okay? Now, we still got to solve this left side for x, so let's go ahead and minus the 2. Now, remember that last example that I did is when we have two whole numbers. When you do not have a radical, you got to fix it. So this is a positive 4 minus 2, which is 2. And this is a negative 4 minus 2, which is negative 6. And that's it. So the only thing that we are changing right now is we're solving it a different way. Let's try again. I'm going to put another one over here. X squared plus 10x plus 3 equals 0. Okay? What is the first thing we do? We move the constant. So if he's positive over here, what's he going to be over there? Negative. First thing, always. Second thing is we add our blanks. Remember, we have a blank after the x, and we have a blank on the other side. Now, what is the number that you always divide by 2 and square? It's always this middle one. So 10 divided by 2 and squared. Okay, so 10 divided by 2 is 5. What's 5 squared? 25. That's what goes in the blank. Now remember, this left side is always going to be perfect squares, so go ahead and write it. Your parentheses are a little squared. X squared's perfect square is x. What's 25's perfect square? 5. And you always take whatever symbol is right here, so plus. And then this right side, you just put it together. Negative 3 plus 25 is 22. And then you just do your thing like I just taught you. You are going to solve this by square roots. So I'm going to square root this side, square root this side. So I have x plus 5. And remember, anytime you square root, plus or minus. Now, 22, like if I try to break this down, it's just 2 and 11, which are both primes. So if you ever try to break something down and it's both primes, that means it's already simplified. So let's now subtract the 5 from both sides. Now you have the square root. So remember, when I have the square root, the whole number comes first. Negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 22. What are we thinking? Let's go one more, okay, because this one has a little something different. 3x squared minus 6x plus 12 equals 0. All right, why is this one different? Look up here. Look at your x squared. 1. X squared, 1. Uh-oh, x squared's got a 3. So if any time you have some numbers out there, look for a GCF. You have 3, 6, and 12. What can go into all three? Good, a 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And 12 divided by 3 is 4. Now look. Now you got rid of it. Okay? Now, I am not going to complete this, or should I? I don't really know because... no. Let's act like I didn't do this one. Okay? I'm going to teach you that tomorrow. All right, so completing the square. Let's see, we're at 6 minutes. Should we try another easy one? Yeah, let's try x squared plus 6x equals 8. Okay, so this is our number 3. We're not going to look at this one. This is kind of like tomorrow's. All right, so when we're looking at this, look, I already brought my constant over here. So if your constant's over here, what's your next step? Putting your blanks in. So get your blank after your 6x and after your 8. Which number over here are you going to divide by 2 and square? Yes, the 6. So 6 divided by 2 and squared. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 squared is 9. Now remember, that left side is always going to be perfect squares. Always. If it's not, you did it wrong. X squared's perfect square is x. 9's perfect square is 3. And then you're taking whatever is up here. Now, it's not always going to be pluses. I accidentally put all pluses in mine, but it's not always going to be a plus. Sometimes it will be a minus. What's 8 plus 9? 17. Okay, and then we're just going to do the same. Square root, x plus 3. Don't forget your plus and minus. Now, is 17 prime? Yes, it is. So, subtract that 3. Remember, your whole number comes first. And there you go, guys. Try some of those practice problems, okay? Ask questions.